Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. BC is now in a wildfire state of emergency. Fines for fireworks have been toughened up. Did you notice a federal party leader in Yarrow last weekend? Not too many people did. And Coast Kart Club is back racing at Greg Moore Raceway and in front of the fans. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. At Tuesday's Chilliwack City Council meeting, Council adopted a number of bylaw amendments, including two major contentious issues. The pump track, where vandalism and harassment have been a problem, and the second is the blasting of fireworks within city limits, and fines start at $100, but they ramp up quickly. The pump track has gone through major growing pains, including vandalism and harassment of kids and parents at the tracks. Now fines and an explanation of what harassment is now on the books. Now, the fireworks rules have been toughened up. Yes, it is still illegal to shoot them off within city limits. Fines for that start at $100, but can quickly escalate to $1,000. Critics have been howling that BC had not put out a state of emergency over the wildfire situation in the interior, but that all changed on Tuesday. And at the same time that was announced, BC Wildfire issued a wind advisory. So the state of emergency now opens up resources and money to not only fight the fires, it also opens up programs if mass evacuations are needed, similar to Lytton, with the eye right now on places like Osoyoos, Costin, and a few others. Prime Minister Trudeau and the BC Premier John Horgan were hinting at this last week, and it's now official. Fully vaccinated American citizens and permanent residents will be allowed back into the country, into Canada, as of August the 9th, joined by the rest of the world, but that's not until September the 7th. Federal officials announced all of that on Monday as the country prepares to lower border barriers that were erected to limit the spread of COVID. So this is of great relief locally for people who live in Point Roberts, Washington, the remote peninsula that was literally cut off from mainland USA almost 18 months ago. Officials say the 14-day quarantine requirement will be waived starting the second week of August for eligible travelers who are currently living and residing in the States and have received a full course of COVID-19 vaccine approved for use in Canada. But this doesn't mean you can go gas up in Sumas or Linden, do some shopping, and come back across the border, because the Americans extended their border ban to at least August the 21st. That may be extended again later on. What if you gave a political rally and not too many people showed up? That's what happened to the leader of the People's Party of Canada, Maxime Bernier. He was in Yarrow last Saturday. The Chilliwack Progress said some 100 people showed up for this event, but when you saw the photos on social media, the crowd seemed to be much smaller. The rally was supposed to be held at the pavilion at the Chilliwack Corn Maze, but when those owners found out what the real political agenda was, they canceled. The PPC are known as climate change deniers. The party platform clearly advocates for the cultural integration of immigrants, and that's been called racist. And on immigration, they advocate stricter numbers to be allowed in the country. Now, speaking of the corn maze, one of the benefits of that heat dome from a few weeks back was the spike in the growth of local cornfields. The corn shacks are up, and the Chilliwack Corn Maze have their sunset specials back up for the month of July. So between 4 and 6, all farm pack meals, so that's the hamburgers, the hot dogs, the drinks, they're half price. The maze is on Yale Road West, across from the Chilliwack Golf Club. So just take Yale Road West, that off-ramp from Highway 1, and follow the signs. The Royal Canadian Legion Branch 280 on Vetter Road near Garrison will be hosting a barbecue and a bottle drive for the Lytton wildfire victims this coming Saturday from 11 to 2. Hot dogs and water by donation, with 100% of the proceeds going to evacuees. More info can be found on the Branch 280 Facebook page. Also, Branch 4 of the Legion, that's the one on Mary Street, will have a flea market. Again, it's this Saturday, and the proceeds there will help pay for services that help out veterans. The 2021 Mission Folk Music Festival inviting you to experience folk at home, and that's this weekend. The 34th annual festival will be online for 2021, so look for a dynamic showcase of musical styles, everything from bluegrass to indie folk, African flamenco to world rhythms. Now, some of the artists you might recognize include Barney Bentel, Sherry Elrick, and Jim Cuddy from Blue Rodeo. Karen Stanton is one proud mom. She is the manager of long-range planning for the city of Chilliwack. She is also the president of the Rotary Club of Chilliwack. And her son Matthew has now taken on a project over the last couple of months, combining his love for video production and heritage homes. In an email to chillTV, he says, "I'm a grade 12 student at Sardis. I've studied film and television production for 3 years, and I've got a keen interest in learning about Chilliwack's early history as of 2019. One thing I found fascinating was learning about some of Chilliwack's historic homes and how much of an impact they had on our community in the early years. My inspiration for the project came from a couple of homes that were brought down in my neighborhood in the last few years, and that was really unfortunate because that's a chunk of Chilliwack's history that's gone. I figured we should try and preserve our history as much as possible so that new generations, like me, can understand the history in a more clearer view. Not only will we lose a piece of history, but attraction and a sense of character that perhaps gave off a different atmosphere around us." And as you can tell, here's a piece of that video, which is now up on YouTube. First, Agassiz Speedway and Mission Raceway reopened to race fans. Now, it's the West Coast Kart Club at Greg Moore Raceway. They will allow fans in the stands starting this weekend. Now, for those not in the know, Greg Moore Raceway has been designed to meet or exceed the requirements of, and I'm not kidding, the Commission Internationale de Karting. Yes, it is the world's motorsport governing body. The track layout is a 12-corner asphalt surface, about 4,000 feet in length, and it is a championship configuration. Track organizers have recently replaced the old tires that were used as a safety ring and put in new technology. With fans allowed back in the stands for the 2021 BC Football Conference season, the Valley Huskers have released the new schedule. The Huskers will only be playing 8 games, not 10 this year. So they start the season at home against the Okanagan Sun, and that's September the 4th at Exhibition Stadium. The downside of the schedule is the last 3 games are all on the road against Langley, Kamloops, and the Vancouver Island Raiders, respectively. So that'll be a challenge if the team is in the playoff hunt by Halloween. The BCFC also awarded Prince George a conditional franchise for the 2022 season, and that's going to put a financial strain on all the clubs when it comes to travel costs, and in particular, the Raiders and the West Shore Rebels, because they now have the added cost of traveling on the team bus, not only to Prince George, they got to come off of Vancouver Island and take the ferry. The Abbotsford Centre will be playing host to the Vancouver Canucks training camp in September. The big club will also have an exhibition game at Abbotsford against Calgary. That's September the 27th, and tickets are now available. chillTV weather, it's mainly sunny for the weekend barbecue or that camping trip, and the high near 28. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you've got a story you think we should know about, send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.